Hello, in this video, let's take a look at how geometry point opens up new possibilities for spatial calculation. Let's start by creating a simple calculation to compute the distance between a starting point and ending point using simple longitude and latitude pair that comes from the same dataset. Let's start by creating a geometry point for the start location. Save it with a suitable name and also create a calculation for the geometry point on the end location. I can also invoke the geometry point from the expression editor, select the longitude and the latitude pair for the end location, and save it as a geometry. Now, to calculate the distance between the starting point and ending point, I can now invoke the geometry distance calculation from the spatial library, which is expecting two different arguments, one for the starting point and one for the ending point. I can invoke the start point and end point using geometry point within the geometry distance and also apply numerical as well as aggregations. Let me save it with the name distance, which gets saved as a metric. I can now simply have a table visualization to validate the distance calculated between the starting point and the end point. But we can use the station names, which is available from the same dataset. So simply drag it to the table visualization. And let's say I can also have it in my color and maybe filter it by top 10, do a sorting. And now we can see that it has calculated the distance between the starting point and the ending point based on simple longitude and latitude pair. I can also visualize it on a map with the starting point and the ending point and showcasing the different connections between the points. And now we can also have the distance displayed on a tooltip as well, which is calculated from the same location. We can also invoke it from a data flow. So say for example, I have information on the various customer asset location and I have a data set that contains the shape of a storm path. I can first create a geometry point using the longitude and latitude information of the various asset location, join it with the second data set, and compute advanced spatial calculations. For example, I'm trying to calculate here whether my asset locations are within 350 kilometers of the storm path. I'm now trying to relate whether the asset locations are inside, outside, or touching the borders of a storm path using relate. And we can also calculate the distance between the various asset locations and the storm. And the output of this data flow can be used in the visualization to identify this map inside. So here is the calculation which we computed using the data flow. Simply select true from the within distance and it now gives me all the customer locations that are at risk from the storm path. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.